I'm Madame Donuts, and I own Donut Dynamite with my husband. We opened our store about 7 months ago in the town of Wailuku. So I went to Culinary Institute of America at Greystone campus in St. Helena, California. And I think it was worth it. I had a great education, great connections, and that's actually where I met my husband, who is also my partner in Donut Dynamite. Our doughs take about 6 to 8 hours minimum for the initial fermentation. So I mix the dough, basically let it sit in the refrigerator in a cool room for about 6 to 8 hours to let the butter set. Meanwhile, while that's going on, we have all sorts of other projects like the toppings and such. We make all the glazes in-house. If we use some type of a fruit glaze, we use real fruit. We make our own handmade sprinkles. That alone takes time, me being on the stove, basically crystallizing sugar to make miniature candies. I always loved donuts. My very first job was actually at Dunkin' Donuts when I was 15. But at the time, I did not make the donuts. I worked the front of the house. But I think my awareness of donuts kind of came about around that time. I did not think I was going to be making donuts for the rest of my life after that. But you always have a soft spot for it. Many years later, I became a pastry chef. Somehow, I would always sneak in a donut on the pastry menu in every place that I worked at. I always thought it was fun. I always thought donuts, they're the underdog of the pastry world. And I found it to be challenging, changing people's minds about donuts. Because when I tell people I wanted to make donuts, they're like, really? You're a CIA educated pastry chef, you want to make donuts for a living? And I say, yeah, because I'm gonna change the world through donuts. I wanted to change people's view of something that could be so simple and humble and make it elevated to the type of food you would get at a high-end restaurant. Other pastry chefs have actually made brioche donuts, but they were always in a high-end environment. We started our business selling donuts at the Maui swap meet. So I remember the first time we were there, and we had gimme s'more donuts and bacon maple and just some really interesting flavors that they had not seen before on a donut. They were literally looking at us and they would walk away. And then one teenage boy actually came by and he's like, that's interesting. He had $3 in his pocket, so he bought a donut. He walked away eating the donut. Before he could walk far enough away, he turned around and said, that is the best donut I've ever had. Now, he was probably 13, 14. He probably had no idea what he was talking about. But I thought, somebody that age got it. Like, there's a difference. And I looked at my husband and was like, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. This is different. It's amazing. And everyone's going to agree. So from the Maui swap meet, we were really active in community events. And then not too long after that, executive chefs of hotels, 5-star hotels, were actually coming to us telling us that they wanted to carry our donuts in their hotels. At first I was like, whoa, don't you have full-size bakeries in-house? And the executive chefs of the establishment themselves were saying, but they don't make your donuts. So